Hi there! Thank you so much for joining me today. This is Julie DiMatteo from thepaperpixie.com, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US. And in this video tutorial, I'm going to show you this really cute mini hexagon star box, which is sized perfectly to fit a Ferrero Rocher or a Lindor truffle. Now, what's different about this box is it actually opens up on the bottom, and the reason for that is that I hot glue gunned this clear faceted gem to the top to hold this beautiful hexagon star top closed. So I wanted a way for the recipient to easily get into the box, and so I created this bottom. And if you open it up, you'll see that inside is a Ferrero Rocher. Really, really cool box with a little bit of a different closure. And I just think this is so sweet for the holidays. This features the Candy Cane Season Bundle. So let me show you how fun and easy this little box is to make. We're going to start with a piece of real red cardstock that measures 4 7/8 by 2 7/8. And along the 4 7/8 inch side, we're going to score this at 3/4, 1 1/2, 2 1/4, 3, 3 3/4, and 4 1/2. I'm going to rotate it clockwise, and we're going to score this at 5/8 and 2 1/8. I've brought in this little template here. Next, we're going to focus on these squares at the top, and we're going to score those at the diagonal from corner to corner. And then we're going to bring it back to the Simply Scored and score that straight down, but just to the intersection of the diagonal score lines. So I'm just going to grab a ruler and my stylus from the Simply Scored. I'm going to go ahead and do those diagonal score lines from corner to corner. All right, now bringing back the Simply Scored, I'm going to do these straight score lines, and those are going to be at 3/8. Again, I'm stopping at the intersection of the diagonal lines. 1 1/8, 1 7/8, 2 5/8, 3 3/8, and 4 1/8. So the first thing we're going to do is fold and burnish on all the straight, horizontal, and vertical score lines. All right, so now we're going to do a little bit of cutting away. I'm going to notch in here on this 3/8 of an inch tab, and I'm going to remove this lower rectangle corner on the right. Then I'm going to cut up each of these vertical score lines, stopping at that first horizontal score line. Now, to get this really cool rounded edge, which makes the bottom of the box close much easier, I'm going to bring in the detailed trio punch, and we're going to round the corners of this bottom. And there's a trick to it. So I'm just going to kind of start at one end and line that up there in the guides and punch. And then I'm just going to fold on each score line, and we'll be punching through 2 layers of paper, but it goes very quickly. And then what you end up with is you have this really cool kind of scallop pattern along the bottom. Now finally what I'm going to do is fold on each of the diagonal score lines and the little short score lines to finish off the folding. All right, now that that's done, before we put the box together, I've got a piece of the Under the Mistletoe Designer Series paper, and this piece measures 4 1/2 inches by 1 1/2 inches. And on the Simply Scored, I'm going to score that every 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to score that at 3/4, 1 1/2, 2 1/4, 3, and 3 3/4. I'm just going to fold and burnish on all those score lines. And then what we're going to do is we're going to glue those to the center section here, making sure to line up the score lines of the cardstock and the Designer Series paper. So to do that, I'm just going to take the liquid multi-purpose glue, and I want to be pretty generous with the glue here because we want to make sure that it's completely adhered because this box is going to be folded. And the liquid glue is going to give me a little bit of wiggle time to get this lined up just right. I'm just kind of sliding it into place. And then what I'm going to do is come in with my bone folder and just really burnish that paper and make sure that it's down nice and snug. And then I'm going to come back and fold and burnish again just to make sure that that Designer Series paper doesn't want to come undone. This is all happening while the glue is still wet, so it should really help with the box going together. So there's that. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and close this box. So I'm going to fold on the second score line from the left. I'm going to place glue along this tab here. And fold on the second score line from the right, and those should line up. Press that into place. Now again, I want to make sure that I press that down and that that glue is nice and adhered. Use your bone folder if needed. Okay, so before we put this box top together, I'm going to grab the Ferrero Rocher and just kind of pop that in from the top. It's going to be a nice snug fit there. And then from the bottom, we're going to go ahead and close this bottom. So I'm just going to start. It doesn't really matter which one you start with, but we're going to kind of go around in a circle, press those tabs into place. And this last tab needs to go on top of this one, but under this one. A little bit like closing a box top, only with this you've got 6 different sides. But look how cool that is on the bottom, and it's not going to fall out there. All right, so we've got our Ferrero Rocher in there. Now what we can do is make sure that these are pinched out. And then we can start to fold that top into place to create that really beautiful hexagon star on the top. Now, what I'm going to do next, I'm just going to grab my paper piercing tool and I'm going to grab one of the clear faceted gems. You can leave the adhesive on it. I'm grabbing one of the medium size of the clear faceted gems and I'm going to close this. I've got a hot glue gun over here that's been heating up and I'm just going to put a little dollop right there in the center. I'm going to take that with my little paper piercing tool and then press that into place and hold it until that glue sets. And that should hold your top together. And there we go. Look how beautiful that top is. I love it. All right, let's do a little bit of stamping. As I mentioned, we're going to be using the Candy Cane Season Bundle. I love this punch and stamp set bundle. We're going to use the little sentiment for you and also the detailed bow stamp. Okay, in Real Red, we're going to stamp the for you onto Whisper White. Then the detailed part of the bow, we're going to stamp that in Old Olive onto Old Olive for a tone-on-tone look. All right, then I'm going to come in with the Candy Cane Builder Punch and punch out that detailed bow. Then the 1/2-inch circle punch to punch out the sentiment. And then the 3/4 inch circle punch to punch out a circle in Real Red. Now using a liquid glue, I'm going to layer the bow on top of the Real Red circle. Then I'm going to add the sentiment. And then we're going to pop that up on a dimensional. And place that right on the front of this sweet little Ferrero Rocher box. How cute is that? I love this little box. I love the details of the top. It's just a really fun box. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss my next video. If you're interested in purchasing any of the Stampin' Up! Products I use today, they'll be linked in the description. And I'll also include a link to my detailed blog post with all project measurements, details, and a picture of the template. I'd love to have you come visit me at thepaperpixie.com where I post projects every weekday to inspire you. I have options to subscribe to both my monthly newsletter as well as my daily blog updates, and I'd love to welcome you as a new subscriber. You can shop with me anytime at thepaperpixie.com/shop. And if you're interested in earning a discount on your Stampin' Up! Purchases, I'd love to have you join my team of Paper Pixies. And you can purchase the starter kit at thepaperpixie.com/join. If you give this project a try, I'd love to see it. You can share it on social media with the hashtag #PaperPixie, and I'll be sure to check them out. Thanks again for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day, and happy holidays. Take care. Bye.